Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we have brought to you some of the PYQs of 2025 STET paper, Child Development and Pedagogy. So before I proceed towards the questions, I would like to remind you all that you all will be given 10 seconds to guess your answer, and then I shall proceed on with the explanation of question and the answers. Thank you. So moving on to our first question. The development orientation that focuses on maintaining social order and following laws falls under which level according to Kohlberg? Pre-conventional level stage 2, conventional level stage 4, post-conventional level stage 6, pre-conventional level stage 1. So your time starts now. Okay, the answer is conventional level stage 4. Now before I move on with the explanation, as you all know, the Kohlberg's stage of moral development, where so basically Kohlberg's stages of moral development, it is a theory that focuses on how children develop morality and moral reasoning. So morality यहाँ चाहिँ के भनेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ morality is the distinction between right and wrong, and moral reasoning चाहिँ नानीहरूले चाहिँ केमा चाहिँ याद गर्न सक्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ किन चाहिँ यो कुरा चाहिँ राइट हो एन्ड देन वाइ इज दिस थिङ अ रङ थिङ भनेर है. सो that is his theory. Based on his theory suggests that moral development occurs in a series of 6 stages. So see, please do not get confused. Because Kohlberg ko this is the triangle day. So Kohlberg ले चाहिँ तीनटा level of moral reasoning चाहिँ उले identify गरेको छ. This is pre-conventional. This is conventional, and the highest form is post-conventional. Now these are the 3 levels, okay, identified by Kohlberg. तर यही level को under मा पनि there are 6 different stages. So एउटा level मा 2टा different stages छ. First stage मा के छ भन्दाखेरि तपाईको avoiding punishment, यहाँ avoiding सबसे lowest moral development है, यो चाहिँ stage of moral development, that is avoiding punishment. त्यहाँदेखि second मा आउँछ self interest. त्यहाँदेखि थर्ड स्टेजमा चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि गुड बोय एटिट्युड. त्यहाँदेखि त्यसरी नै फोर्थमा ल एन्ड अर्डर छ, त्यहाँदेखि फिफ्थमा के छ भन्दाखेरि त्यहाँ देयर इज सोशल कन्ट्र्याक्ट, एन्ड सिक्स्थमा प्रिन्सिपल. नाउ सी all these levels, तीनटा लेभल जुन चाहिँ छ, इट इज बेस्ड अन फाल्टु कुराहरू. सो प्री कन्भेन्सनलमा मोरल रिजनिङ इट इज बेस्ड अन रिवार्ड एन्ड पनिसमेन्ट. सो यो स्टेजेसमा जे पनि मोरल डेभलपमेन्ट हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ इट इज बेस्ड अन रिवार्ड एन्ड पनिसमेन्ट. कन्भेन्सनलमा मोरल रिजनिङ चाहिँ इट इज बेस्ड अन एक्सटर्नल एथिक्स, ओके. एन्ड देन थर्ड post-conventional मा चाहिँ moral development or moral reasoning is based on personal ethics, okay. So यहाँ तपाईको answer, the correct answer would be conventional stage or conventional level stage 4, जहाँ चाहिँ law and order fall हुन्छ, okay, stage 4 मा, conventional level को stage 4 मा. Now explanation. Stage 4 of Kohlberg's conventional level is about obeying laws because society needs them. Now I said कि second level जुन चाहिँ छ conventional, यसमा चाहिँ moral reasoning is based on external ethics, जुन चाहिँ society ले norms and values हरू लगाएको हुन्छ मान्छेहरुकोमा अब एज पर सोसाइटी एउटा कुरा नराम्रो हो भनेर भन्छ नि दैट इज लाइक पीपल आर ओबेइङ दोज लॉ व्हिच द सोसाइटी हैज एन्फोर्स अपॉन देम ओके नॉट आउट अफ फेयर और पनिशमेन्ट और यूनिवर्सल एथिक्स Now classroom example dinu parदाखेरि चाहिँ a teacher who follows school rules even when no one is watching because they believe rules hold the institution together. Okay, I hope I made it clear. So moving on to the next question. While analyzing students' performance in a project, which indicator is least relevant? So this is the question based on project based assessment. So your options are quality of research conducted, B, level of memorization, C, creativity and originality of ideas, D, collaborative skills demonstrated. Your time starts now. So the correct answer here is level of memorization. Coming to the explanation, project-based assessment measures application, creativity, research and collaboration. Now as we know कि project-based method मा चाहिँ के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the children are given the liberty to explore the topic by themselves है so यसमा उनीहरुको application पनि चल्छ creativity how they present the project त्यो पनि measure गर्छ and then how well do they research about the certain topic त्यो सबै like measure गर्छ except for rote memorization. Okay, memorization sits at the lowest rung of Bloom's taxonomy. So coming to the example classroom situation na, a student who memorized every fact about climate change but couldn't present a single original solution in their project scores poorly on project based learning indicators. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Choose the correct statement regarding interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence. Now see, Gardner's theory of intelligence ma, he has talked about interpersonal and intrapersonal. This may sound very similar but it is totally different from each other. Okay, interpersonal intelligence मा चाहिँ के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ when we are like interpersonal एउटा मान्छे to other person when you try to understand the other person well okay that is interpersonal when you are communicating with your matlab when you are communicating with other person or other people. Now intrapersonal is within ourselves. Okay, intrapersonal is within ourselves. So your options are interpersonal, understanding oneself, intrapersonal, understanding others. B, both refers to the same type of social intelligence. C, interpersonal, understanding others, intrapersonal, understanding oneself. D, neither is recognized by Gardner's MI theory. Your time starts now. Okay, so the correct answer is option C, interpersonal, understanding others, intrapersonal, understanding oneself. Like I said, interpersonal is when you are trying to understand other person as well. That intrapersonal when you are trying to internalize yourself, when you are trying to understand within yourself. Okay. Interpersonal, understanding and working with others. Intrapersonal, understanding oneself, emotions, goals, strength. Now classroom example, a school counselor has high interpersonal intelligence. Antatani intrapersonal chai, a reflective journal of a student could be one of the intrapersonal intelligence. Okay, moving on to our next question. According to Jean Piaget, which sequence correctly represents cognitive development? So here you need to arrange the cognitive development stages of cognitive development in a correct sequence. Okay, your options are pre-operational, sensory motor, formal, concrete operational. Option B, sensory motor, concrete operational, pre-operational, formal operational. Option C, formal operational, concrete operational, pre-operational and sensory motor. Option D, sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. Now your time starts now. Here the correct answer is your option number D, that is sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. Now see, Piaget को चाहिँ चारवटा स्टेजेस छ, सेन्सरी मोटर, प्री अपरेसनल, त्यहाँदेखि कन्क्रिट अपरेसनल एन्ड देन फर्मल अपरेसनल. नाउ 0 to 2 इयर्ससम्म चाहिँ नानीको चाहिँ सेन्सरी मोटर डेभलप हुन्छ, जहाँ चाहिँ रिफ्लेक्सेस एन्ड सेन्सेस छ. आफ्टर द्याट 2 to 7 इयर्स, यो इयर्सहरू पनि तपाईँले याद गरिराख्नुहोस्, समटाइम्स इट माइट कम. ओके, सो प्री अपरेसनलमा ल्याङ्ग्वेज, इकोसेन्ट्रिजमहरू डेभलप हुन्छ. आफ्टर द्याट 7 to 11 इयर्ससम्म नानीको कन्क्रिट अपरेसनल डेभलप हुन्छ, जहाँ चाहिँ they start learning, they start making logical sense with real objects. After that, abstract reasoning from 11 years above. Okay, now classroom example dinu parदाखेरि a baby shaking a rattle, that is sensory motor. त्यहाँदेखि toddler calling all round things ball, this is pre-operational. After that, concrete operational child solving addition with blocks, this is concrete. त्यहाँदेखि teen debating hypotheticals, that is formal operational. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the question. Now moving on to our next question, that is which teacher action best counters gender stereotypes in the classroom? Option A, assigning leadership roles only to boys in science project. B, letting girls choose arts and boys choose sports by default. Option C, encouraging all students to participate in all activities regardless of gender. D, praising boys for being strong and girls for being polite. Now, your time starts now. Now see, option A, B, D, let's say somehow it is encouraging stereotypes. It is encouraging gender stereotypes in the classroom. कि केटीहरूलाई चाहिँ आर्ट्स लिनुपर्छ and then boysहरू चाहिँ they should go for sportsहरू. यहाँ पनि gender stereotypesहरू enforce गर्दैछ उनीहरूले अझै है. Except for option C, where the teacher is encouraging all students to participate in all activities regardless of gender. This is the best counters gender stereotypes in the classroom. Okay, inclusive participation challenges assumptions about what boys or girls should do. NEP 2020 mandates gender sensitive pedagogy. Any action that assigns role by gender reinforces, not counters stereotypes. Okay, moving on to our question number 6. Which situation is least likely to indicate child neglect? Please read the question very carefully. यहाँ क्वेसनले के सोध्दैछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ which situation is least likely to indicate child neglect है. कुन चाहिँ situation is trying to indicate कि एउटा नानीलाई चाहिँ पेरेन्ट्सहरूकोबाट or स्कुलकोबाट least neglect हुँदैछ भनेर है. So your options are a child who frequently comes to school without food. B, a child who frequently creates imaginative stories. C, a child who is persistently tired and poorly dressed. D, a child who is often absent without explanation. Your time starts now. So, the correct answer to this question would be a child who frequently creates imaginative stories. Now, imaginative storytelling is healthy cognitive development. When a child is like being very imaginative about स्टोरी टेलिङ्सहरू जति अब सम नानीहरू हुन्छ कि क्लासरुममा हु इज लाइक भेरी गुड इन स्टोरी टेलिङ है इट सोज कि इट इन्डिकेट्स कि द्याट त्यो नानीको चाहिँ डेभलपमेन्ट इज कोग्निटिभ डेभलपमेन्ट इज भेरी हेल्दी एउटा हेल्दी इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा बसेको नानीहरू क्यान इमेजिन अ लट अफ थिङ्स है अ लट अफ इमेजिनेटिभ स्टोरिज सो मुभिङ टु आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेसन द्याट इज विच स्ट्राटेजी बेस्ट प्रमोट्स एक्टिभ लर्निङ एन्ड लङ टर्म मेमोरी रिटेन्सन कुन चाहिँ एक्टिभिटीले चाहिँ लङ टर्म मेमोरी रिटेन्सन र एक्टिभ लर्निङ चाहिँ प्रमोट गर्छ भनेर द्याट इज द क्वेसन एन्ड योर अप्सन्स आर option number A, rereading the textbook chapter 3 times. B, listening to a recorded lecture repeatedly. C, creating timelines and debating historical perspectives collaboratively. D, copying notes from the boards into notebooks. So, your time starts now. The correct answer would be option C, that is creating timelines and debating historical perspectives collaboratively. Now, the explanation dinu parदाखेरि चाहिँ active learning जुन चाहिँ छ है active learning and to promote long-term memory retention, it requires students to produce, engage and interact. Students ले चाहिँ active learning कहिले हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ when the process, the teaching learning process is both way. अब टिचरले मात्रै भनेर एन्ड देन स्टुडेन्ट्सले प्यासिभली सुनेर मात्रै त्यति बेला चाहिँ एक्टिभ लर्निङ हुँदैन द्याट इज प्यासिभ लर्निङ बट एक्टिभ लर्निङमा चाहिँ स्टुडेन्ट्स आर अल्सो इन्गेज्ड इन द लर्निङ प्रोसेस ओके timelines plus debate combine retrieval practice higher order thinking Bloom's analyze evaluate यो है and social constructivism. Now, तपाईको classroom example मा there are two scenarios. Now, एउटा classroom मा चाहिँ a history class where students build a wall timeline and argue different sides of a historical event. Now, this is active learning हुँदैछ यसमा versus a class that simply rereads a chapter 3 times. यहाँ चाहिँ it's promoting kind of rote memorization है त हुन्छ. So, the correct answer would be option C, creating timelines and debating historical perspectives collaboratively. Now, moving on to next question. According to Dash, a child is born with instincts and reflexes like sucking and grasping. And your options are Vygotsky, Erikson, Piaget, D, Brunner. And your time starts now. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is option C, Jean Piaget. Now, Piaget ko हामीले हाम्रो एउटा previous question मा we had already discussed the stages, the 4 stages. So, Piaget ko sensory motor stage जुन चाहिँ 0 to 2 years छ, it begins with innate reflexes. So, activities like sucking and grasping चाहिँ it is primary circular reaction automatic from birth. Through interaction, यो जति पनि activitiesहरू छ, it slowly evolves into intentional, goal-directed actions. Okay. Now, moving on to question number 9. Which action best aligns with NEP 2020's vision of inclusive education? Option A, placing students with disabilities in separate special schools. B, reducing the curriculum for students with learning difficulties. C, providing assistive technologies and individualized support for students with disabilities. D, excusing students with disabilities from all assessment. And your time starts now. Okay, so yeah, this question is based on a very important topic that is inclusive education. यो चाहिँ आउँछ है तपाईहरुको exam को लागि पनि. And see, inclusive education भन्नाले के बुझ्नु सक्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ अनलाइक द सेग्रिगेसन हुँदैन, नानीहरूको बिचमा डिफ्रेन्सिएसन हुँदैन कि यो नानी त सी ओर ही इज चिल्ड्रेन विथ स्पेसल निड नानी हो, सो उसको लागि स्पेसल स्कुलमा लगाउनुपर्छ भनेर. द्याट इज नट देयर इन इन्क्लुसिभ एडुकेसन. रादर इन्क्लुसिभ एडुकेसनमा चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ नानीहरू जो नर्मल नर्मल नानीहरू छ उनीहरू सँगसँगै एउटै क्लासरुममा चिल्ड्रेन विथ स्पेसल निड्सहरूलाई पनि जब त्यो क्लासरुमभित्र लिएर एउटा टिचरले अकर्डिङली पढाउँछ, जब द चिल्ड्रेन आर लाइक गिभन एडुकेसन एज पर देयर निड्स, त्यति बेला चाहिँ भन्नु सक्छ कि दिस इज द इन्क्लुसिभ एडुकेसन भनेर है. सो यहाँ द करेक्ट आन्सर वुड बी अप्सन सी, प्रोभाइडिङ असिस्टिभ टेक्नोलोजिज एन्ड इन्डिभिजुअलाइज्ड सपोर्ट फर स्टुडेन्ट्स विथ डिसेबिलिटिज. NEP 2020 promotes full inclusion, all learners together in mainstream classrooms with differentiated support. Assistive technologies and IEPs are the tools. Separate school, जुन चाहिँ यो स्पेसल स्कुलहरूको आइडिया छ, द्याट इज नट इन्क्लुजन. उनीहरूलाई एडुकेसन त दिँदैछ बट इन्क्लुजन इज नट देयर. दे आर केप्ट भेरी सेपरेटली अलुफ एउटा schools ma, right, special schools ma, that is segregation, not inclusion. Okay, classroom example, a student with low vision uses a screen reader in a regular classroom, participates in all lessons and receives additional time in test. This is inclusion. यहाँ चाहिँ नानीहरू एउटा low vision भएको student चाहिँ, that student is sitting alongside with other normal students in a regular classroom है, but उसको लागि चाहिँ as per that student को need, additional time is given, screen readers are. So this is what we call inclusion in education. Okay, so moving on to our very last question for the session, that is, according to Freud, which unconscious defense mechanism is used by the ego to reduce anxiety? And your options are A, projection, B, rationalization, C, sublimation, D, repression. Your time starts. So here the correct answer is option D, repression. But before moving on with the explanation of the answer, let me just make it very clear to you all that Freud talks about the psychoanalytical theory, right? That he has talked about it, ego and superego. So यहाँ projection भन्नु चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ projection means when you blame someone else for your own feelings. Okay, now example दिनु पर्दाखेरि projection method projection defense mechanism को example दिनु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब you are supposing you are jealous of your friend, तर के भन्छ, that your friend is jealous of me, she is jealous of me भनेर जब त्यस्तो भन्छ, that is you are projecting your own feelings onto someone else, that is projection. And B, rationalization, meaning when you are making excuses to justify your behavior. तपाईले एउटा exam fail गर्यो रे and then you say कि लास्टमा अब you have to justify your त्यो फेलियर होइन, त्यो फेलियरलाई जस्ट तपाईँले चाहिँ के भनेर जस्टिफाई गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ द एक्जाम वाज अनफेयर, त्यो टिचरले निकैजना चिटिङ गर्दै थियो. वेन यु आर लाइक गिभिङ जस्टिफिकेसन फर यर बिहेभियर, द्याट इज ऱ्यासनलाइजेसन. एन्ड देन सब्लिमेसन भनेको चाहिँ वेन यु चेन्ज एन अनएक्सेप्टेबल इम्पल्स इन्टु समथिङ भेरी पोजिटिभ. ओके, अब there are so many people who tends to get angry very fast, तर त्यो एङ्गर जहाँ चाहिँ एङ्गर हुँदैछ धेरै एङ्गरहरूलाई चाहिँ रिलिज गर्नुको लागि those people tend to play boxing or स्पोर्ट्सहरू जब खेल्दैछ उनीहरूले उनीहरूको नेगेटिभ एनर्जीलाई पोजिटिभ एनर्जीमा च्यानल गर्दैछ, द्याट इज सब्लिमेसन. एन्ड कमिङ टु द करेक्ट आन्सर विच इज रिप्रेसन. रिप्रेसन मिन्स पुसिङ पेनफुल unacceptable thoughts and memories into unconscious mind so that you don't consciously remember them. Okay, and your repression ego uses repression to reduce anxiety. It is one of the most important and most basic defense mechanism used by ego.
Hello STET aspirant. This is the demo class of how we prepare in TET online tutorial. If you want to prepare for STET 2026, you can avail for any of the batches given in the poster. You can contact to the given number and start your preparation from now on.
So thank you everyone for being with me till the very end of the session. I hope you enjoyed or you learned something from today's session, and I am looking forward to covering more of PYQs in the future coming days. Thank you for being with me till the very end. Thank you.